So in a recent little survey that I did, I asked whether our audience would love to learn more about crypto, and everybody said yes. So this morning, that's what we're going to talk about. So if you're curious about crypto, cryptocurrencies, crypto assets, and you want to learn more, because that's what we're all about, I want to teach people as much as we possibly can so that you are able to have great conversations with clients when and where you need. And we're going to be sitting down with James Caw this morning and have a fantastic conversation around everything crypto and how you can learn more about this amazing thing. So strap in and join us for this amazing episode, learning more about crypto and how us as financial advisors and planners can have conversations with clients around this. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. What a fantastic morning this morning. I hope you are doing well where you are. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you're watching the recording, thank you so much for spending some time and to check us out and see what we're about. Or maybe you just couldn't make the live show. Then we are so glad that you are here. So thank you very much to every single one of you making the time to join us live. That makes all the difference. The engagement, the questions, and all of that come through is fantastic. So looking forward to today's show. As I said, we're talking everything crypto this morning. And I guess the idea today is to sort of give us a start on crypto and a better understanding and start the education process, because that's what it's about for me. It's about, do we need to know about crypto? Yes. And as I said in the description and some of the sort of LinkedIn messages and WhatsApp messages, is that, you know, you and I may not be advising people on crypto, and maybe we don't want to. But the fact of the matter is that many of your clients will own crypto, whether it's currencies or assets, doesn't matter. They own them and they need to talk to someone. And it's also not something that you can disregard when it comes to estate planning and all those good things. So therefore, I think it's so important that we do educate ourselves and learn more and understand maybe where things are going. So I'm joined by James Caw, who I will introduce to you in a little while. And then I'm also joined by Nikki this morning from the FBI doing current affairs. I have Norma talking about the lag between actions and results. And then we have Kobus Klein doing Accelerate Your Brand. And today Kobus is going to talk about branding, Bitcoin, and the role of champions, evangelists, and brand ambassadors in the digital crypto age. Now, as if that is not enough, we will also be giving away Kobus's book called Cryptomania, which I think is so apt for today. I'll give you the hashtag a little bit later, but we'll be giving that away. And then I'll be giving you some quick announcements, not a lot of them today. This is one or two, and then we'll get into the discussion with James. So, ladies and gentlemen, strap in. Let's get the show on the road. Good morning to every single one of you. I hope you're doing fantastically well. Your coffee is hot and you're ready to go, because here's Nikki with the latest news from the FBI.
Good morning, everybody, and good morning, Francois. So I've got two pieces of news for you this morning. The first of all is a list that was published by the FSCA, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, last week. This is Communication 21 of 2023, and there's a list of names of employers with arrear contributions in the retirement fund space. This communication provides the names of 3,262 employers that contravene Section 13A of the Pension Funds Act, which prescribes the manner in which the payment of contributions and other benefits should be made to a retirement fund. So in short, they are in arrears with their retirement fund payments to their pension funds and retirement funds, although they have collected the contributions from their employees. So the intent of this communication is to inform members belonging to the retirement fund as well as relevant stakeholders of these contraventions, and it was communicated that these lists will be published before it was actually published. So listen to these statistics. I think it is actually really scary. The FSCA received a total of 5,430 employers that contravened this section as of the 30th of April 2023. Now, 28% of these employers had contributions outstanding for 1 month, 24% for 2 to 12 months, 23% for 13 to 60 months, and 25% of these employers for 5 or more years. Now, the publication only reflects those employers who have outstanding contributions for 4 months and more. The FSCA's preliminary statistics indicated that municipalities and private sector companies have approximately, listen to this, 1 billion and, in the case of private sector companies, 6 billion rand arrear contributions. Whilst financial difficulties faced by municipalities and the effects of COVID are public knowledge, employers still have an obligation to their employees to pay over-deducted contributions and employers to the retirement fund as per the PFA. And boards of retirement funds actually have the duty to recover these outstanding contributions from the employers by making use of the various avenues available to them, which includes a complaint to the South African Police Services to lay a charge against the employer. And the FSCA is continuing to engage with the relevant authorities to ensure that the criminal element of this contravention is effective. Now, we are aware that there are some struggles with the SAPS and the boards are actually struggling to get these charges laid, but we hope that the FSCA can sort that out. If you look at those lists, you will see that there's definitely a very big issue in the private sector security funds. There's a lot of employers in the private security sector on that list, as well as municipalities. If you read through the list, and it actually makes for some interesting reading, there are a few names on there that you maybe know about, or that you would not expect to see on there. And I think it's everybody's responsibility to ensure that as a society we keep these people responsible as well, to make sure that the employees does not get disadvantaged. Then in the second story, ASISA released some statistics this week on collective investment schemes that shows it grew at 3% to 3.27 trillion rands in the second quarter of 2023 relative to the first, which was basically a result of strong equity market performance. And this is despite under pressure consumers that are tapping the unit trusts. So there was an outflow of 10.4 billion during the quarter, which shows that many investors have actually depleted their emergency savings and were now turning to unit trust funds for relief. So at the end of June, 19% of assets under management were held in SA equity portfolios, while interest-bearing portfolios held 30% of assets. Half of all assets remain in SA multi-asset portfolios, with the remainder in real estate. So multi-asset portfolios continue to regain popularity after there was some drop-off in 2016 to interest-bearing portfolios. But given the current market volatility and an uncertain economic outlook, that ASISA said it is unsurprising that investors are opting for multi-asset portfolios, which are designed to deliver a more stable performance through smoothing out market volatility and diversification. So locally registered foreign portfolios also held assets under management of 810 billion rand at the end of June, and this is up from 737 billion at the end of March. Then one last comment from me. If you have not booked your LeaderX ticket yet, please do so at www.leaderx.com by using the invitation code FPI in capital letters and then guest in small letters. You are very welcome to come and join us on the 14th of September at the Sandton Convention Center, where our subject matter experts and FBI members will be chatting to consumers about uniquely South African problems and how financial planning can address that. We are just one of 6 entities involved in LeaderX on that day, and that is excluding the exhibitors. You can see the full lineup and agenda on the website, and we would love to see everybody there. But remember that you have to book your ticket by 4 o'clock this afternoon, otherwise it is closed. So we would love to see you there. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Francois, for your time.
Thank you so much, Nikki. Really appreciate it. And without any further ado, let's head on over to Norma and hear why there's such a lag between what we do and when we see the results. So Norma, I hope you're ready. Headed over to your side of the woods and looking forward to the session.
Good morning, and so glad to be back today on this Friday. What happens in your life when you have this new idea and you've implemented tasks for the last month and you don't see any difference? You don't see any new clients in your business. When you maybe have strictly followed this new eating plan for the last 2 weeks and you get on the scale and the scale hasn't changed at all. Or when you've changed your attitude towards a person and over time, this person's attitude towards you haven't changed at all. So this is my topic for today, that lag between taking action and seeing the results. So this can be so challenging for most of us. I see in my own life that I normally underestimate the time that it takes for me to see results. So with any new endeavor, we started off fresh and enthusiastic, and it's so easy and effortless that we take action from being motivated and inspired most of the time. We visualize our goal and we actually feel what it would feel like when we actually achieve it. But then over time, when we have to keep taking these actions, we see that it's not that easy anymore, that it's quite hard, that a lot of times it's very inconvenient, and that we have a lot of discomfort. There's a lot of doubt and being uninspired, and there's a lot of failure involved. So in that place, I like to ask myself a very short but very powerful question. Now what? So when I ask myself, now what? I can have one of 3 responses. The first one, I can quit out loud. I can say to myself, this is it, no more. Or I can quit quietly. And then I maybe stop believing. And I take action, but it's half-hearted efforts. Or I can push through, and I can tell myself that this is just part of the process. So there's 3 things that I want to remind myself when I'm in this place where I maybe don't see the results, where I'm unmotivated and maybe a little bit discouraged. So the first one is that I consistently want to keep believing. So what is the downside of believing in this goal? I'm here anyway. Why not make the most use of my time? Why not believe in the goal? Because that would keep me taking action. Versus if I don't believe in the goal, I'm going to be procrastinating because I believe that what I'm doing today isn't going to make a difference. I don't always need to believe it 100%, but I need to believe 1% more than what I did yesterday. So the second reminder is that I don't want to be too focused on the evidence, that the evidence shouldn't be my main driver. So I take my focus off the long-term goal for a moment and put it on what I can do today to make a difference. So I make the goal today what is on my calendar. And of course, we want to take the time to assess what we're doing wrong, what's working, what's not, what I can do differently. But I want to do it from that place where I'm calm and I'm open to new ideas and I'm wise, instead of just wanting to make changes from that place of desperation where I just want to get to the goal. And then lastly, I want to do one more. Ed Milet has a book called The Power of One More. And in this book, he talks about becoming that person that always does one more. So when we are in a place where we're discouraged, where we may be not motivated, when we have taken all these actions and we don't see the results, we become that person of one more. So I just want to do one more phone call, one more task today. I want to have one more healthy meal, one more workout. I want to have one more conversation with this person, one more kind word. And that we'll see that over time, we compound all of these one mores. That we become this person and we identify with a person that always does one more. That I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. And then even when I'm done, I still do that one more. So next time you are discouraged, unmotivated, don't see evidence in your life of all your hard work, think of these 3 reminders. Continue believing. Don't be too focused on the evidence. Be focused on what I can control today, what I can do today, what's my goal today, and then always doing that one more. Thank you for being here. I hope this is helpful on your journey, and I will be back next week.
Thank you very much, Norma. That was an exciting segment. Really appreciate it. Some valuable insights. And I hope that you're taking a lot of value away from this as well. So next up, we have Kobus, and let's accelerate our brands and talk everything about branding and Bitcoin and the role of champions and evangelists and brand ambassadors in this digital age that we find ourselves in. So Kobus, over to you.
Branding, Bitcoin, and a role of champions, evangelists, and brand ambassadors in our digital age. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my branding slot this morning. Branding is much more than just an impressive logo or memorable slogan behind you. At its core, branding is about creating an emotional and psychological bond with your audience. Think of the innovative brands of tech giants like Apple and Microsoft, the inspiring ethos of sportswear legends such as Nike and Adidas, or the universal charm of fast food icons like McDonald's and Starbucks. All these brands share one thing in common, a powerful, distinct identity that resonates deeply with their audience. In the ever-growing ocean of crypto, one name stands towering above the rest, Bitcoin. But why? What makes Bitcoin's branding so compelling and magnetic? Being the original, the pioneering crypto, or as I say, the mother of all cryptos, it gave Bitcoin an undeniable advantage. But as history has often shown, being first doesn't always guarantee sustained success. Look at how brands like Nokia or Blockbuster, once pioneers in their fields, were overtaken by others. Bitcoin's staying power and dominance go beyond its novelty. It owes a huge debt to its champions and evangelists and believers. Figures like Charlie Shrem and Lynn Alden, among many others, have passionately propagated Bitcoin's potential, singing its praises across various platforms. They didn't just see Bitcoin as another crypto. They saw a revolution, but also a way to make great money quickly sometimes. In our digital age, social media has been a game changer for brand amplification. The days of messages being limited to small circles are gone. Now, a single tweet, an insightful blog, post, or viral video can captivate millions, sparking curiosity and driving conversations. For Bitcoin, this decentralized mode of communications perfectly complemented its decentralized ethos. Taking a page from Bitcoin's book, it's imperative for us as advisors to recognize the power of our clients as brand ambassadors. Beyond the evangelist, it's the everyday Bitcoin investor, the college student, the retiree, the entrepreneur who elevates Bitcoin's brand by sharing their success stories, dispelling myths, and influencing their own networks. Similarly, our clients can be our biggest proponents. Their authentic testimonials, shared experiences, and word-of-mouth endorsements can often achieve what expensive advertising campaigns can't: genuine trust and credibility. It's not just about promoting our services, but also about engaging, educating, and establishing a trusted community. Reacting to market shifts, sharing valuable insights, and being part of the trends conversation can entrench our brand power for our clients. Remember, in today's digital landscape, building a brand is a team endeavor. It's a work in progress between the service provider, the quality of service, and a community that rallies behind it. It's about collective amplification, mutual growth, and shared success. As we continue our journey through this dynamic digital era, let's draw inspiration from Bitcoin's brand acceleration. Let's invest not just in our brands, but also in the relationship that makes them thrive. So, by me talking about Bitcoin, it doesn't mean I'm endorsing Bitcoin. I'm endorsing Bitcoin's brand and how strong the brand has accelerated. James will later talk about crypto, and he may convince you of some other things or not. Thank you for listening to me. Back to you, Francois.
Thank you very much, Kobus. Appreciate that. What a fantastic segment. Really appreciate it. And next up, let's do a couple of quick announcements, but let's make it quick, right? Let's do it. Righty, so amazing. Just a couple of things I want to share with you. First off, the hashtag. It is hashtag crypto, CRYPTO. So hashtag crypto. If you comment that in the comments, we will do the lucky draw. And one lucky viewer is going to win Kobus's book. And the book is signed and all of that. So let me grab the book quickly. There you go. You know, what is it if we don't do things live? So here we go. There, Kobus has got a special message in there, and he signed the book. And also, Kobus is going to give away the option for you, or rather allow you the option to book a coffee with him, be it virtual or in person. And you're more than welcome then for that. So do comment hashtag crypto in the comments, in the chat, and we will do that lucky draw then at the end. Alrighty, so let's see what else I want to share with you. First of all, the big thing now is that we just launched this week. We started the Client Meeting Skills 2.0 program. Never seen before content. We started off with rapport building and some interesting things. We're really looking forward to next week. Next week, we will be talking more about using the disclosure to help determine the client's previous knowledge and experience as far as financial advice is concerned, and really helping it. So this is all about leveling up your client skills. It's available to Propulsion members. So if you're not a member of Propulsion, then do go check it out. The link is down below, propulsion.co.za, and you can see everything there. You can see some testimonials from some of our members. You can see what we stand for, as well as all the benefits that you get for 350 Rand a month. So do go check that out, and we would love to have you as a member if you're not a member yet. And then you can have access to client meeting skills and all the other things that we are going to launch in the very, very near future. There's an incredible program that we are launching, the first 2 programs in a series that will become available in the next week or 2. So really looking forward to announcing that. That's going to be a big one. And other than that, there's also Microsoft 365 training coming up that we'll also announce next week exactly when that starts. Everything is in place now for that, as well as the upcoming Financial Planning Tools and Techniques 2.0 program that starts in October. And all of these programs that I'm talking about is only available to Propulsion members. So if you're not a member, trust me, you do want to be part of this amazing community. It's the most amazing group of people together. And that's really the heart of what it is that we do. And then also we happen to make incredible programs available and help you grow and thrive. And at the same time, give you a place where you can belong and no longer feel like you're alone, maybe if you do feel that way. Then if you like what we do, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. We really helps us get some phenomenal guests, the more subscribers we have. So looking forward to that. So if you don't mind, hit that like button. Please share this with other people, share this with your teams, etc. And we're happy for you to do that. All right. So just like that, we've come to the point where I can introduce you to James Caw, and we're going to be talking about crypto and specifically education around crypto. So looking forward to this. All right, so I'm very excited to introduce my guest to you this morning. And today we are all about crypto, but education around crypto. So today is not about the buying and selling of crypto and schemes and investments and those kind of things. It's really understanding what crypto is at its heart. And my guest this morning is James Caw, and he is the head of institutional sales at Easy Crypto. And I'm looking forward to my discussion with him. So James, a warm good morning to you and a warm welcome to PROpulsion.
Thanks, Francois. It's good to be with you, and hello to all the listeners as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really excited for this conversation. You and I had a conversation quite a while back, and obviously time goes by very quickly. And eventually you booked the Friday slot, and then it felt like forever for us to get here. But here we are this morning, and I'm excited to just talk to you a little bit about this. Just maybe as a brief background to everyone, you know, like crypto is something that I avoided for an extremely long time. And I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to learn about it because I had all these reservations and I had all of these things. And then one day I land up having a coffee and a breakfast with a friend and a friend of his. And this guy started talking, and then something clicked in my mind to say, but it's not about, just about the fact that it's a currency and it's meant to be used like money, etc. And there's all these other things, but it's not an investment. It's not this, it's not that. So it's all these questions that I, as a financial, my background in financial advice has had, and that I think many of you have had. But I mean, before we get into all of that, I just think like it's very important that we educate ourselves. We understand really what it is about, and we can make up our own minds around where we sit with this. And as I said in the intro, you know, it's not a case that many people, you might not be giving advice around crypto and you don't want to advise people to go into crypto. That's not what this is about. But you definitely have clients who've bought a lot of crypto and that holds these crypto assets in their portfolio. And whether you know about them or not, it's probably a fact in your business. So, James, I'm really excited to have you here. But before I talk too much, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do exactly, and a little bit of your background with regards to crypto.
Cool. Thank you, Francois. I think that's exactly the right frame of mind to start off with. A lot of the financial advisors that I've been dealing with since 2016, or maybe a bit later than that, it's not necessarily that they're keen on crypto and want to understand it and get rich quick, which I think a lot of people get distracted by. But they have clients losing money. They're losing money out of their portfolios into really high risk and really dodgy crypto investments that are costing their clients sometimes their whole livelihood. So, you know, those are the clients, the wealth managers and the financial planners that I've been dealing with, helping them to have a better discussion around crypto with their clients, and set in the right principles, practices, and guidelines so that that crypto is kept safe if it is bought, and when it is bought, it's not yielded to somebody else to control and own. So I think that's the main focus really of this discussion is, so how do you have those conversations to protect people? And that's why I do a lot of education around crypto assets. So my background in 2016, I started working with Bitcoin. I bought some. I have the standard tale where I put in 7,000 Rand. It became 70,000 Rand. I was so excited. I sold it and said I'll buy some more later. When I went back to buy more, the price had, of course, 20x'd. And I couldn't afford to buy at this level. And I thought, I'll just leave it. One day I'll get back in. But since that time, I actually started working part-time in crypto assets full-time, helping people, teaching people, training people. And I've orange pilled, as we call it. That's when we get somebody across the line to buy their first little piece of Bitcoin. I've orange pilled about 600, 700 people over the years. And help them to keep that safe is the main thing. From the waiter at my local Spur to the family offices that I work with. and
Yeah,
that's
that's
where we are at
brilliant.
the moment.
Yeah. So James, I mean, let's get started and start with specifically crypto. Or I want to talk about crypto in general. Obviously, the big ones are like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Still, I would assume around that, but Bitcoin is definitely the one.
Yeah.
On everyone's. I even saw at Cradlestone Mall, there's now like a Bitcoin ATM. So literally, there's a
Yes.
machine where I can go and it's amazing. So these things are not going away, it seems. But what is the state of crypto in South Africa specifically? Because if you think about over the last while, the last few months since Bitcoin like really went down again in price, which is great news for you. You can get back in. But is there still a demand? Because there's nothing in the news or very little things in the news. People are quiet about it. You don't hear from it from all sorts of weird and wonderful places anymore. So is there in fact still a demand as far as Bitcoin or maybe some of the other cryptocurrencies are concerned?
Yes, I think what's happened, Bitcoin at the moment specifically is down about 50%. So it's at a 50% discount at the moment. And at this stage of the market, a lot of people are just going, no, this is too scary. But that said, it was down 70%. So it's climbed 40% again, and it'll continue to climb as more people buy and get interested. So we've seen a uptick. But in terms of the cycles of Bitcoin, we expect it to travel sideways a little bit at this stage of the market. I think what's interesting at the moment is that the previous price rallies were kind of triggered by individuals and people and a little bit of FOMO, and that was affecting the price ridiculously and pushing the price up and down, where institutions haven't really been able to enter the market at this stage. But that whole dynamic is changing a lot with regulations coming in South Africa and in the world, and especially guys like Larry Fink. I'm sure your listeners will know Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock, and they own half the world pretty much, and Fidelity owns the other half. Both Fidelity and BlackRock have been investing in the last 3-4 years, buying up shares in Bitcoin mining businesses, specifically Bitcoin. And then, BlackRock, the CEO, Larry Fink, has applied for that Bitcoin exchange traded fund in the States. Obviously, South African ETFs are different to the US ETFs. Excuse me. And we're seeing institutional interest on a very large scale starting to come into the crypto space, which is very good news for long term. And as you say, I don't think it's going away when BlackRock and those boys start playing. I think it's just getting started. So it's quite interesting time.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about this, also, so that there is still a demand for it. Is the demand as high as it was? Or is it that people are getting more educated, more informed, and understand more how this actually works? And is that the reason why maybe demand has a little bit more normalized, if I will? Because I mean, if you think about the rate, as you said, it went from 20,000 all the way up to 60, I think, and I can't even remember if it was even over 100, but it was like it had that exponential growth, and it's because people were just piling in. It's like supply and demand, right? And then as people start hearing news about this, news about that, they sort of say, whoa, and then you really start learning how these things work. And then as you get a better understanding, is the demand normalizing more at this point, or what is your view on that?
Yeah, I think the demand has normalized quite a lot, that there is enough demand to keep the price at the current levels. And remember that, especially, look, there's two places. There's crypto and there's Bitcoin. And I want to just say clearly that they're two different things. Bitcoin is very much the first mover. And the advantage of that is it had 2 years to work out how to work. And in those 2 years, there are a number of times it could have been completely annihilated. But the people working on it were altruistic and actually worked to make it work. Whereas other altcoins that are released after that are often impacted or influenced by a specific individual or team who are trying to take your money from your pocket into their pocket. And so I am what you would call a Bitcoin maximalist, non-toxic. So I like other things. I enjoy the utility of other projects and researching and learning as much as I can. But I understand that Bitcoin is an uncorrelated investable asset that should be considered should be looked at as part of a portfolio. So I think the demand is definitely there. The family offices are looking to buy. They're getting poor advice. I see a lot of them looking to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. Ripple was created basically as a transactional item, not as an investable asset. Bitcoin is the only real long-term investable asset around. And as you've implied perhaps that we should do a roundtable or a face-to-face with other people in the crypto space, I'll obviously get flack for that. But the reality of it is it stands alone, Bitcoin and crypto. And what we are seeing is a lot of demand moving from crypto, traditional crypto, into Bitcoin specifically. And the demand for Bitcoin is significant. It is growing in South Africa as well and across the world.
Yeah. And it's an interesting, I just want to stand still at that just for a moment, James. So we're talking about all these things, and there's probably people sitting listening to us going like, what are these two oaks talking about? Bitcoin and Ripple and Ethereum, and talking about an investable asset and more transactional kind of based things. So explain to us, sort of, what is crypto meant to do at its core? And then what is the big difference between Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies then from that? Because the word currency is obviously something, it's money. It's digital money. It's computer money, if you will. So can you just maybe explain that a little bit, just to give people more context around? I'm just going to assume people watching knows nothing about this. So let's start there. How would you explain what is cryptocurrency at its, or just crypto assets even at its core? And then what is the big difference between Bitcoin and the others?
Cool. I think the interesting thing is that we think Bitcoin was the start, but it is actually the result of 40 years of research by the cypherpunks and other very intelligent people trying to figure out how to create a digital money that wasn't governed by a bank. Satoshi, the founder of Bitcoin, created a way to solve a problem of trust. So in order to have a digital currency, we had to trust that currency hadn't been copied or duplicated. And so he made a way for it to never be copyable. And then for us to check that it was an original, real piece of unit of Bitcoin that we were transacting with. In his white paper, he actually, my background is actually foreign exchange treasury services, where I've been the head of marketing for quite a big player in the space. And Satoshi's white paper actually says the intermediaries are taking ridiculous fees for money transfers. We're going to sort that out. And so that was why it was created initially, is to say we need something that can be trustworthy, that can be used for transactions across borders without any government interference or oversight. And so the Bitcoin was birthed out of that model to be used for sending value anywhere in the world with minimal fees. And so that is what it can do still. A lot of the objections to Bitcoin are it's not a store of wealth, or it can't compete with Visa and MasterCard in terms of transactional value. But I don't know if you've seen this week, of course, yesterday we heard of Raymond Ackerman's death, his passing at 92. So he had a good innings. But Pick n Pay have actually adopted multiple ways to pay with Bitcoin at shops. And that is faster than the settlement there is faster than our credit card payment and cheaper. So they'll actually have additional revenue from saving that those few cents on every single transaction that they do. So it's evolved. Bitcoin has evolved. It isn't just stagnant. And the development on top of Bitcoin is something beautiful to see rolling out. So it's a new kind of money. It is a currency. But what's interesting is that Bitcoin created digital scarcity for the first time. So if MP3s are a downloadable item from a CD, you convert it to MP3 back in the day, and then you can share that MP3 with a lot of people. So that's a digital good. MP3, you can sell MP3s, you could buy the MP3s, but once they got copied, you just gave them away because nobody really was willing to pay for them anymore. That's the MP3. So Bitcoin created a digital good which couldn't be copied. And that really is where the value lies. It's the first time you've got digital scarcity, or a good that cannot be cloned, that can be verified as a legitimate original item. And so that's why Bitcoin has got value. It's got a maximum of 21 million units. Those 21 million units are currently floating around in the system, being traded, being bought, and always are being confirmed by the blockchain, which is the foundation, the world's most inefficient database. But there it is, confirming that those Bitcoin do exist, and they are able to be transferred from one person to another. So yeah, so that's maybe too much information, but
No.
I'll
And
keep it simple.
but it's good to sort of follow that. And I guess the big other question then is, why, if you think about financial advisors, financial planners in South Africa specifically, so let's keep it home, but I mean anywhere in the world. But why is it important do you believe, for all financial advisors and planners to understand this and to, and the other question, I guess, is because it's been flagged as a new asset class, right? So you've had hedge funds, and then now you have crypto as an additional asset class. And I know some of the asset managers have started including some of these in their portfolios, be it in passive or active. So they've definitely considered this as an asset class, many of them. And I don't know whether all cryptocurrencies or cryptos would be, like good
Investable.
or even be appropriate for being an asset class or being part of the asset class. But with that as it may, I guess my question to you is, why is it important for all of us as financial advisors and planners and people working in financial services to understand crypto and to understand how this would work as an asset class?
Brilliant question, and I think that's why I said we should have this chat on video. I know you've had other people who wouldn't come on video to talk to you about crypto assets. The key, I think, is that you're going to have these discussions coming up a lot more often with your clients, especially now that the regulations are actually in effect. They're published. They are there for you to peruse. And actually, at Easy Crypto, our team has been advising the Reserve Bank and the FSCA and even the Banking Association of South Africa on what to do with crypto and the regulations, because some of the additions were actually put into the regulations. So the regulations are there, the appetite is there. We're seeing it in terms of Easy Crypto South Africa, getting a lot of new orders coming in, both buy and sell orders for many different currencies, including Bitcoin. And so the appetite is there, and also the narrative is there. So people are talking about it. At the moment, there's a lot more around the braai. At the peak of the price, hitting that million rand per coin, it was all over the media as well. But that will rise again as we see the price kind of marching on to its next cycle. And when that happens, because it's a financial product, you should at least be able to protect your clients from getting into yield chasing iterations of Bitcoin and crypto asset investments. So I think that's probably the big thing, is to understand that what you're dealing with is this digitally scarce good, which has not yet reached its price, its parity, the place where the price is comfortable. And that I'm quoting guys like Larry Fink and the BlackRock team, who put Bitcoin at $1 million per coin as a good price parity position. So we're expecting the price to go up in over a period of 4 years. I have advised clients, about 700 clients, in the old days when it was not legal, a financial product, that you don't look at Bitcoin as less than a 4-year investment. And none of those clients, nobody who's bought Bitcoin and held it for 4 years has lost money, which is pretty good. It's a good uncorrelated asset for an investment portfolio, but on a medium to long term, not on a short term. It's quite a risky asset on a short term. So I think the point is that these conversations are going to be happening. Your clients will come to you and say, if I put my Bitcoin here, or my crypto, my USDC, I put it here, then I'll get a guaranteed 14% per annum. fairly okay, but sometimes they're getting offered 14% a month, and sometimes even 5% a week, which compounded means they get all the money in the world after 10 years. It's not possible. And so, you can start to have these conversations with not just that's not possible, it's not a good idea, but to say, okay, but where is the crypto? Where is the opportunity in crypto? And you can understand, and then you can share with your clients a much safer, lower risk, still some risk, but a lower risk and a more informed strategy for investing in these things. And my friends and my community who are wealth advisors have been able to prevent a lot of losses by having the right discussion and not just saying, "Oh, it's rat poison, don't touch it."
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit. I mean, you did mention the regulations a little bit earlier. So obviously, when was it? Like, I don't remember, the end of last year. When was it that crypto was actually declared a financial product in terms of the FAIS Act, and it is now included as part of the regulated products, which is good news. It's fantastic. And also, then advisors who want to give advice now needs to get obviously a license for that kind of advice to be able to talk about crypto with their clients. But I mean, just practically, just briefly, James, what does that mean for an advisor or a planner? If they are looking to give advice, or if they have clients with this and clients are asking them questions, like, what does all of this mean for them?
So it has been a little bit difficult right now. So you have to apply for the license and understand that as often is the case when a new product comes out, it's quite easy to get that license initially. But then we also have to start looking for CVD points, etc., to make sure that you are developing your professional skills and staying up and informed with what is actually happening in the industry. So there's two elements of it. There's first the personal education, which we can help with a lot right now, and then the ongoing professional development, which we will see coming through. But the regulations, I think, were published earlier this year. It took a long time for the websites to be updated so that you could actually tick the boxes and complete the right forms that you need in order to get everything in place. But the regulators are really working hard to ensure that it's doable, it's possible to actually get the right license, apply as a crypto asset service provider, or add it as a license to your existing financial service provider book. So yeah, the regulations are there, and the mechanisms are actually developing very quickly, although they aren't all in place as yet. And that's where some good advice from clever people does help a lot. Yeah, our head of South Africa for Easy Crypto South Africa is Brent Peterson. He's an attorney in the Cape Town High Court, and he has been advising the FSCA and the Reserve Bank on some of this regulations and legislations, and also helping other businesses to become legally compliant and regulated correctly, so that they can actually do all of the correct processes and have the right licenses to give the right advice to their clients. So yeah, there are options, and obviously as more and more people get the right licenses and the industry grows a little bit, it will become easier and easier.
I guess that the starting point for any of this is education. Like, you've got to educate yourself on this. Now, I know that you are very pro on education about crypto and Bitcoin and all of these things as well. So I know that there's a course available, the Financial Advisor Intro to Crypto course. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, James, and how do people go about accessing that?
Great, yeah, thanks, Francois. So what Easy Crypto has done, initially when we first launched in South Africa in 2017, we built a course around an introduction to crypto assets for the man on the street. That course is available at the easyacademy.co.za. Our main URL is easycrypto.com/za. But the Easy Academy has been built for South Africans by a South African veterinary science doctor, who has recently actually qualified and is doing his RE1, so that he is now a qualified financial advisor, and he'll be doing his RE1s to set up his practice, because he understands the importance of education, but not just that, but education from the right person, and from somebody who actually understands the financial services space as well. So the easyacademy.coza has got a financial advisors course that we've just published this week. And I've had 3 of my close financial advisor friends go through it, and they were all very happy and impressed with the quality of the education that they've put out there, that we've put out there. And so that course is available for free. I actually left it for free so that I can tell you about it here. And until we get the CPD approval, which will take some time, we will leave it up for free so that advisors can get through there. And all of your listeners are more than welcome to do it, and also give me some feedback on it, please.
Brilliant. No, they will. Trust me, they will. And at the very least, I always say when you do any kind of education like this, you are also, when I'm like training people for their NKF6 or CFP or any of those kind of things, I always say first look at it how you can benefit from it personally. And then think about how you can use this with your clients and help clients, because it always starts like there must be a personal benefit there as well. So even if that's the only thing that you gain, having a better understanding about this, it is so worth doing that course. Then the other thing I wanted to ask you just very briefly is that I know one of the things you mentioned earlier is around family offices. And obviously family offices is where somebody manages a family's wealth. So it's these big, like people with a lot of wealth, and they need advice and they need people who can really understand and help and be involved. And I mean, they appoint people to literally manage their wealth. What does Easy Crypto do in that space? And then I know there's also something like a AUM model sort of that plays. I don't know if it plays specifically with that or if it's something separate, but just tell us a little bit about that, James.
Yeah, so after consulting in the Bitcoin space with high net worth individuals since 2016, and the man on the street, my favorite customer is the waiter at the local Spur, who was able to fund his daughter's school fees and buy his first car because he started buying Bitcoin every week with his tips. But after dealing with high net worth individuals, we realized that there's a risk of people buying their Bitcoin, keeping it, and then dying and then losing it. Nobody can find it because the technology has been not great in terms of self-custody and storage. And then the other risk is a brute force attack where people actually get tortured or the Bitcoin gets stolen from them in some way. So those are real issues that we've seen firsthand or secondhand, let's say. And so we've helped clients navigate that. And in the end, I built Simple Bitcoin Services as a business that I'm the sole director of. And we've been helping people to set up multi-sig wallet setups. So that means basically a backed up Bitcoin security model where you can you can't spend the Bitcoin without somebody holding your hand. So we are those people who hold the hand of our clients. They hold 2 of the 3 basically business banking licenses to do the transactions, and we set that up for clients so that they can hold their Bitcoin safely. What's lovely about that is, as assets under management, if that is the way your practice works, you can hold one key, a third party like us could hold a key, and then your client holds one key, and that way you have oversight as to the safety security of the Bitcoin. If any of the 1 to 3 parties disappears for any reason, they can't steal the Bitcoin, but they can be replaced. So it's and that happens a lot with people losing their hardware wallet, and they lose. I spoke to somebody yesterday because I'm down on the Garden Route in the Knysna fires. He lost his hardware wallet with everything, millions of rands worth of Bitcoin, and we can avoid that kind of thing through safe, secure custody. So the security consulting is something that I've done for the last few years, and as Easy Crypto, because we work as a self-custody wallet solution, that's the first step really, is to get your wallet set up where you can keep your Bitcoin safely and then transact in terms of buying. And so I do that still today under Easy Crypto, teaching people how to actually set up the right security so that they can keep their Bitcoin safely. So that's the main thing, is to keep it safely.
Yeah, and that's a whole thing in itself. And I think that's why the education part is also so important. So you need people who can help you with that, but you also need to understand how all of this work and when can you lose or just lose access to your crypto as well. So there's a lot around that. James, just like that, we've run out of time. There's actually a couple of other things I wanted to chat to you about, but that makes it good for another follow-up session. If anybody has got any views or any opinions, please share them in the chat if you're watching the recording. First off, thank you very much for watching. And secondly, for, you can comment as well. We will respond to those. But just maybe, views or maybe questions that you have around this. But also, James, where can people get hold of you if they want to learn a little bit more?
So you can reach out to me via the OTC page on easycrypto.com/ZA. Just click on over the counter at the top, or email me directly at jamescaw@easycrypto.com.
Fantastic. I'll also add the links below in the description. So if you want to get hold of James, you're welcome. And of course, one of the best places to connect with anyone in today's world is LinkedIn. So do go and search for James on LinkedIn, and you can definitely connect with him there as well. James, from my side, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your insight and for the time spent with us. I look forward to having further conversations with you shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it seems like I have a little bit of a technical issue doing the live draw, but never fear, we've got all the hashtags. So what we will do is we will get them all into a nice spreadsheet. We've got a manual spreadsheet where we can do automated sort of that they can draw. We've used it on the show before. So I will do that then for next week. So very sorry about that. But then we will do 2 draws next week, one for another book, and then also we'll do this one where we now can't do the draw live. So I'm really, really sorry about that. But we will do it live next week so that you're able to see. And then hopefully you are the one that wins the crypto book. Right. So we will know exactly who entered hashtag crypto. So if you want to do it before the end of the show, please go ahead and do it. And we will then see you when that's ready. So I'm really looking forward. Next week we'll be back, same time, same place. And in the meantime, stay safe, be blessed and prosper, and continue to raise that bar as high as you can. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much. Love you lots. Bye-bye.